Are you ready for some more Outriders news updates? So today the dev team find themselves once again on the hot seat as they have been accused of shadow nerfing areas of the game. Now we have an official reply from the community manager from Square Enix, and he does confirm that yes, there were some changes done to the game that the community wasn't made aware of. We're going to go over that here in just a moment. Plus, there's been some mass confusion over the dev team's recent messaging about the patch, restoring gear, and more. So we're going to be diving into that as well. So let's do this. Hey everyone, what's happening? Open World Games here. Hope you're doing good today, and let's check out what is going on in the world of Outriders. So first of all, let's take a look at this accusation. This comes from Release Next, who goes on to say this. So what about the shadow buffs and nerfs you did to on server side a few days ago? People Can Fly, you think we didn't notice that the monsters do more damage and you rescale some skills and cooldown? Without giving any statement to us, we noticed your shadow buffs and nerfs, so we want a statement about it, why you did this and what you did! Exclamation point, tons of exclamation points. So yeah, a lot of people have noticed that there's some oddities with the game, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit further in just a moment, but let's get into the official reply from Square Enix, who says this. First of all, they say, we have done no shadow buffs or nerfs. Could you point me in the direction where such changes were conclusively proven? And furthermore, another reply from Chaos Prime says, critical analysis mod received a 50% reduction from 30% to 15% is one example that is commonly posted about. And yes, we have a reply from Square Enix again. They say this: thanks, I'll take a look at this and double check with the design team to ensure that I didn't miss it off the patch notes. Was this noticed immediately after the balance changes, or did people encounter it later on? And this is the interesting bit. They say this: having just checked with the design team, I am indeed confirming that this change was made and was intentional. It was left out of the balancing notes by mistake, which I will take responsibility for. Hiding that change was not intentional, so I do apologize for the confusion. I've gone back and added it to the notes now. So everyone calm down. Now, again, there are some things going on with the game that are a little bit strange. Of course, people noticing stuff happening, especially with scaling with the challenge tiers and in co-op, and I think that needs to be looked into by People Can Fly, because I've seen so many posts about that and people noticing some oddities with that. So I think that's one of the next things that they are going to have to look into. But honestly, anything regarding shadow nerf, shadow buffs, I don't think they're going to be intentionally doing that at all. I think going forward, however, they're going to be fixing these weird oddities that could be happening between co-op, single player, scaling, and that sort of thing. So I think it's best to wait and see what People Can Fly can find out based on your feedback. All right, so let's talk about the recent patch that did release. We had a brand new update to the game, of course, which hopefully completely fixes that inventory wipe bug issue. But a lot of people were very confused. They expected, their character to be completely restored. And some players, not a lot of players, some players are also locked out of their character. It's a safeguard measure to make sure nothing goes wrong further, And we got some replies here clearing up some of the misconceptions about the recent patch. So let's dive into this post right here. It's one of the most upvoted posts on the community. It says, okay, I'll ask if no one else will. Is half of this sub illiterate? And this comes from Tegra. He says this: seriously, what the heck is going on right now? The new thread for today's patch states several times that the patch does not, I repeat, not, I'll repeat it again for some of the guys in the back, it does not restore wiped inventories or fix corrupted characters. I've got some new replies about corrupted characters in just a moment, so hang on. Now it says this: what it does is preventing possible future inventory wipes. Of course, many members of this sub are still a little afraid to log in, so naturally they go to the thread for wipes that happen after the patch, just to be sure that it doesn't occur anymore, or that at least occurs less often. And every single comment on that thread is some idiot that read patch and inventory and wasn't mentally able to read any further before wasting a comment about how they lost their inventory last week and still can't log in. I think people read at a glance sometimes. People are busy, but honestly, if you read patch notes or if you watch my videos, just watch the full thing. That's what I recommend. Now they say this, guys, not only do you waste people can fly's time and make it harder for them to detect any remaining cases of the inventory wipe, you also make it impossible for anyone on this sub to see possible new reports of the bug, so they could maybe get an idea of what is still causing the bug and how to avoid it. My biggest worry about this also is people can fly are probably running into trolls that are falsely reporting the bug as well. Now I say, I know this post is kind of rant, but I can't believe that I just scrolled through possibly 100 useless and dumb bug reports that are totally relevant to the thread. Good God. It's true. I've seen a lot of confusion about this, so let's clear up some things. We have some new replies, but here's this. It says, if your inventory has been impacted, please note that our efforts to restore your items are a separate process from today's released patch. Restoring the inventory of affected players is still amongst our highest priorities, and we will have news of this very soon. They also have confirmed officially that they want to go through the weekend with Outriders to see how it does with this recent patch, see if there's any more inventory problems, and then and only then, if they confirm that their patch works, will they restore items. Now this is another one right here. No Paints Bandit says, how do you know who got wiped? It just happened to me and I don't know what to do or get on the list for a fix. And you don't have to get on any list. Outriders confirms this. We can identify affected users via our back-end analytics. There's no need for you to take any action. You will still benefit from our future restoration plans. So there you have that news. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to get on any list. You just need to be patient at this point. Now, what about if your character is locked out or you cannot access your character currently? That's apparently happening to some of the community. Doesn't seem to be too widespread. Let's take a look. JP says this, are we still supposed to be getting immediately kicked with a server error on the characters that are affected? And he's asking post-patch. Is this supposed to still be happening? Outriders confirms that yes, it is supposed to be happening. This will be resolved, however, with our upcoming restoration. So there you have it. Hopefully this can clear some things up, because honestly, I've seen so many people that have been confused, and I do get it. I guess part of me does get that people look at stuff at a glance and they go, oh, new patch is out. Oh, and they don't read the patch notes fully, and then they just go to download something and they assume everything's going to be fixed. That's not the case with Outriders. Currently, they're working their way up to completely getting stuff fixed. Now, this is another great question from Kieran. He says, if a character wipes, while they wait, can they start a new character and get all their previous stuff back still? And that is confirmed by Outriders. As long as you don't delete and overwrite the affected character, absolutely. So, if your character is locked and is affected by this, a good idea would be to start alts and to wait it out. You're going to want to experiment anyway with another class. Why not do that currently if your character is locked? Just experiment with the Devastator or another class that you haven't played with, and just wait. I don't know if it's going to be a week or what, but just wait that time period, and then once they restore all the inventory and items, the character should be unlocked for those that have this issue where your character is inaccessible. Now, also, we have this question right here from Grey Worm. He goes on to ask, the Hunt the Prey bug where you don't move at all is so distressing. Now, Garsick says, the community manager said it was fixed 10 days ago and will be implemented in a future patch. There have been 2 to 3 patches since then. If it's still broken, that's not looking good. I was hoping it would be at least in today's patch, but maybe Theracan means it'll be fixed and update farther in the future. We got a reply here from Square Enix. They're saying we're bundling lower priority fixes into a larger follow-up patch, while the patches released so far have been focused on addressing severe issues. If we were to roll lower priority fixes into our previous patches, it would have extended their required testing time greatly, and they wouldn't have released as early as they did. Totally makes sense. The inventory wipe bug is by far the most severe issue with the game. They've got to get the patches related to that out and, of course, tested, and that is what they have been absolutely focused on. I love this shot here, by the way, of the doors opening. I just think it's so freaking cool. For me, it never gets old. Now, also, we have another question here from Just Sick, who says this. Do you have an ETA when the inventory and character will be restored? And, you guys want an exact date, but Square Enix says this. The ETA depends on a chain of events from now, which is why it's not possible to provide it today. First, we want to ensure that the patch is working as intended. If that's all good, we will then import the final analytics data that is required for restoration. Given the size of the database, this can take some time. Then we'll ensure that our tests with that data are also successful and are restoring everything we've intended. With those things in place, we'll be able to provide the ETA on the restoration. We are, of course, working to an ASAP timeline as we want you to get back in there without delay. We'll have news about the next steps early next week if all goes well. Now, since the recent patch as well, I haven't been seeing an enormous amount of people saying, oh my god, my inventory is completely wiped. So, that seems like it's pretty good news right there so far. I'm not going to celebrate too soon, so, yeah. Now it is time to, guess what? Go over your top comments. So remember, leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in the video. You never know. Alright, so my most recent video was called, Finally, the big update is live. Download now, inventory bug, patched, and new updates. Let's see what you guys had to say about this one. Yeah, I've been feeling under the weather right here. I appreciate you guys supporting me on that one. I still managed to get the video out, but Tom B says, in the name of Jacob, I hope this goes well. Hell yes. Curtis says, now hopefully we can get a patch to stop kicking my Devastator. Yeah, they need to do something about that as well, because right now, Devastators are being kicked from expeditions. Sadness. Alright, now the Space Pirate says, I'm hoping they fix the server soon. Really want to play with some friends on PC. Oh, so yeah. Servers are still apparently having issues according to some of you guys. Now, Dustin says this laughs in Pyromancer is due to getting 50% damage buff while on cooldown. Now we have this Silly Wabbit says, after the update, my brother and I went to play on one expedition together. After we had finished it, I left first and returned to the lobby while he was left to go back to the camp. He loaded up into the camp only to see his character without gear and naked. Oh god. He alt F4 out of the game as fast as he could. He started the game up again and his stuff was back. Hell yes, so that tip did actually work. Awesome to know that that helped someone out there. So that discovery did work. So if your character, has no gear on and you notice it immediately, hard close the game down. Now I have heard on console it's a little bit different. I'm still wanting to hear like a report that it actually helps, but hopefully we don't hear about this anymore, because this inventory wipe issue should be gone. Like, it should be gone, at least according to this recent patch. Now, let's keep going. Maskiff says this, can't wait to go home from work and continue my grind. Just hit challenge tier 8 last night with players from other platforms, no problems. Now patch is here, it's going to be better, higher player base. I sure hope so. So far right now, from what I'm noticing from the Reddit community numbers, that's one way you could really gauge if the community is healthy or not, is that it's sustaining itself currently. Is it necessarily growing? It looks like it's kind of slowing in the way that it's growing. However, it is sustaining. You don't want to see those numbers dropping off severely. That's what happened with Cyberpunk. It was severe. Like, I was like, holy crap, that is not good. So that's not happening with this game, and I hope it doesn't, because I love Outriders, and I hope it has a strong future, like 5 years, maybe like 10 years, I don't know. But let's see what Thomas had to say as well. I hope I can play multiplayer with my friends on Xbox. Finally, yes. Mike says this, all these nerfs, meanwhile laughing and Devastator soloing tier 15 while half asleep. Wow, nice. I would love to see your setup with the Devastator. Now, Sky Reaper 1 says, buff versus nerf is the difference between saying, well, I can't play this character how I liked it to, so what's the point in saying, wow, my teammates can actually keep up with me? That looks like an interesting build. Maybe I'll try it. Yeah, exactly. I think in the future, that is their goal, is to have it where players can really begin to experiment more with their loadouts and their characters. So hopefully that is something that can actually happen, and we could say, hey, every character is well-rounded. There's a reason to play all of them right now. But I am finding out that people are discovering like really cool builds, even with the nerfed Trickster. So yeah, but Devastator, they're probably one of the bigger problems currently in the game regarding expeditions and the timer. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Outriders news and updates, and I will see you all next time. Take care.